everyone, this is Olivia from the Alexandrienne channel, and today I'm starting a new series. It's called Paint With Me, which kind of encompasses a pretty broad spectrum. I'm really excited about this series, and I'll go over some more of the details in just a little bit. What we're going to paint today is a whimsical scene. It's a butterfly with dangles. It has a short verse in there, and it's surrounded by hearts and stars and little whimsical dots. And today's project isn't about how wonderfully you paint. It's about connecting with yourself, your emotions, and taking time to relax and express yourself. Somehow it can be really satisfying to put your emotions on paper. So let's give it a try and see how it goes. You will need the following supplies: a surface of some sort. I recommend some watercolor paper, Bristol board, cardstock. It might be worth mentioning that if you don't have any watercolor paper or cardstock, don't let that stop you. The point of today is self-expression, and so if all you have is paper around, that's great too. You'll need brushes. I'm using a few flat brushes, mostly round brushes, and a liner, and watercolor, of course. The colors I'm using are yellow, orange, reddish purple, bluish purple, aqua blue, medium blue, and a really hot pink, and I think that's it. Oh, water. You're gonna need water, and that's all. Okay, let's get started. In this project, we won't be using any pencils or markers or erasers. It's just us with our paintbrush and paint. This is more about us feeling our way through our creation today. Okay, we'll begin by making the wings of the butterfly a vivid yellow, and we have plenty of water in our brush, so when you add other colors to it, it will be able to bleed out into the color that you've put down. We'll make this kind of at an angle, this butterfly, so you'll be able to see part of the wings that are on the back side of the butterfly, which is very easy. It's just a few strokes. And then we'll introduce some orange for shadows where you think they might be. And if you pull your brush through the orange into the yellow, that helps to pull the orange into the other color. And while you're doing this, try to enjoy the process of just pushing your paint around. Get into the moment. Practice some mindfulness. Watch as the orange kind of flows into the yellow. Ponder that. It's actually kind of beautiful how the colors blend. We will make the butterfly's body with one stroke if you choose. It's very, very simple. It's just one stroke. I am making the head portion of the body a little bit wider, but there's absolutely no need. I'm making it in a reddish purple. And the antenna, I am using a liner brush. This is where liner brushes come in really, really helpful. They make a nice smooth line. And then taking some of the same color, I'm adding dots to the body, which kind of blend out into the purple and make a really pretty image. Okay, we've finished the first portion of the project, which is a butterfly. Now we are going to go in and create some dangle swirly lines. This might be a good choice for your liner. I personally like using a smaller, very thin brush because sometimes the liners, when you get down to the swirl, misbehave for me. They might do fine for you, but I do better with just a smaller brush. And now while we're doing this, because it's going to take a few minutes, I thought I'd go ahead and talk just a little bit about this series. I plan on doing this kind of art where we Just go in, be creative, and not worry about how perfect it is or isn't. And maybe being able to relax and practice some mindfulness and just enjoying the process. Now, I might also compare some products, like what kind of watercolor is better, or maybe going through different brushes. But for the most part, I think this series will be just for us to enjoy ourselves. It's so nice to be able to create without the stress of thinking something has to go a certain way. And let me tell you, when you put a marker down, it needs to go that way. So there might be some markers, but I don't know, maybe not. Your input might help with that if you want markers in these images. Okay, so now we have 3 different lengths of swirls, and we're putting in a quote or a saying, and put the one in that's meaningful to you. We're not trying to be lettering perfect here. It's the meaning that counts. So I'm putting in a saying that has a lot of meaning to me at the moment. If you have something else that you would like to put in, by all means do so. The saying that I chose to put in is, life is too short to wait. It's something that, for me personally, at the moment, is helpful. So if there's something else that would be helpful to you, put it in there. And I am using each one of these swirly lines as a place to write what has meaning to me. I am doing it in purple, and I am using the same small brush that I used to create the swirls. Create this almost as a story if you want to. For example, the swirly lines could be your path that you're on, that you're gently flying through the breeze, or perhaps the love that you share wherever you go. What special meaning does this have for you? I thought the saying that I put down, the butterfly, fit very well with that. So create the letters in any way you'd like, with any saying you'd like. I would use the swirly dangled lines as the place to write them, though, and I would try to divide them up a little bit just for aesthetic purposes in those lines. Or just put it, if it's a really short saying, put it along the middle line. Also use any color you like. I chose the purple because I knew it would stand out more. If you choose, say, the blue, it'd have to be a really dark blue to stand out. The pink would stand out. The yellow, even though it's vivid, probably wouldn't be a dark enough color to where you could see it very well. But put something that has meaning to you. And if you're not sure what verse you would like to put or saying, this might be a good time to pause the video and give it some thought for a minute. And then when you have figured out what you would like to put, just hit play and put in your verse or saying instead of the one I chose. Now I am going through and filling in the dangled lines with a light blue so they'll show up a little more. You could do it in another color if you like, but I would definitely keep them light, because the point of these swirly lines, other than to put your words on, is to show that the butterfly is in flight. And for me anyway, it's the color that I equate to wind or breezes. Now let's start adding some hearts, which are extremely easy to make. Just a few little lines and then put some pink in for the center. And if we're going into the story mode, you could use your hearts for people that you love. And if you do that, you should make a heart for yourself as well as others, because you need to love yourself too. And now we are going to add some stars. And the stars, for me, I probably would see them as goals that I've reached or goals that I plan on reaching. So you could put as many or as few as you'd like in there. And I am creating them in the same colors that I made the butterfly. That vivid yellow, and then I'll go back in and add some orange to give the stars a little bit of depth, because they'll end up being darker on one side and a little lighter on the other. So if you have any goals that you would like to meet or have met that you think would be good here, this would be a wonderful time to add them. Now you see on the orange, I'm going in and just making a few little lines, and then I'm going to get some water and go back in and blend it. See how easy it is to blend. You just have a loaded brush with water and then go into where the orange is and let it kind of bleed into the yellow. And that's all there is to that. It's very, very simple. And in the story mode, it will have a lot of meaning for you. We are almost done now with our stars. So we're going to get ready and make dots. And the way I envision this is that the dots for me is something that I'm grateful for. Some of the dots are just dots, but some of them are things that I think of that I'm very happy about, that I am grateful for. And it could be, if you have a hard time thinking of things that you're grateful for, of course, the people in your life, the love you have, but also things that we live with so long that we just don't think about very much, like the sky, birds, the sound of birds singing, the breezes. There's so many things to be grateful for. And so that's my idea of these little dots. So I stopped at a certain point here, but I probably could have filled up this page full of things that I think that I'm grateful for. So that is the last part of this image. Now, if you just want to make dots for dot's sake, that's wonderful too. But if you're going by the story, then I would make them things that I am so happy that are in my life. Well, that's pretty much it, other than making more dots. So I really hope that you enjoyed this journey, and I hope you'll come back and do some more paintings with me. If you have anything that you would like for us to paint together, let me know. And if you like this video, I would really appreciate it if you give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I would love it. And hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when I post new videos. And especially since this is a new series, if you would like to see anything in particular, please post it in the comments below. Thanks so much, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Much love, Olivia.